This is Jack Dennett inviting you to Maple Leaf Hockey Talks.
I've always believed that education was of an extreme importance to a young boy in a professional hockey career. I think the Toronto Maple Leafs have always been interested in a young boy getting an education. When I was at university, I think these were probably some of my most enjoyable years, meeting with people who were in a completely different line of work.
Bob Pulford, an earnest, hard-working hockey star. He takes all aspects of his career seriously, from playing to his job as player representative to his responsibility to an eager and enthusiastic public.
An NHL hockey player does have certain responsibilities to society. There is a great deal of satisfaction that a player can derive from being helpful to young boys and giving them advice on schooling and playing hockey and becoming better citizens in our community. I feel that a player can be of a great deal of help in visiting children in hospitals and trying to help them along and make their life a little more enjoyable. It is hard to believe the influence that we do have. You do not really realize this until you maybe travel across the country and see the people and how interested they are in hockey.
Not many years ago, Bob was a kid himself, playing his first hockey in Weston, one of the West Toronto suburbs. He never dreamed at that time that he might someday become a professional.
Well, as a boy in Weston, I certainly was very interested in the NHL. I listened to the radio and later on watched television of NHL games. I don't think I really thought I was going to be an NHL player. At the midget age, I tried out with a Marlborough hockey team and wasn't good enough to make that team. I then went back to Weston and played juvenile hockey that year. I developed as a hockey player and played fairly well, and the Maple Leaf organization drafted me from that juvenile team.
Once with the Toronto Marlboroughs, Bob's talent really began to show.
The second year we won the Memorial Cup, I scored 30 goals in 24 playoff games, and I think that was the most important factor in myself making the Leafs.
Bob was in fifth year high school, pretty young to face up to a hockey hero who'd suddenly become the opposition.
My first game in the NHL was against the Montreal Canadiens, and about halfway through the game, Howie Meeker came to me and said
The Montreal Canadiens are all lined up, ready to go. The Leafs are set. Howie Meeker, the Leafs coach, is giving his rookie, Bobby Pulford, quite a chore. His job is to check Rocket Richard. That's going to be quite a task.
I was a very young boy, and this was a very exciting and nervous time for me. During that year, I didn't score a goal, I think, for about 11 games, but I was fortunate enough to get my first goal against Chicago in the Gardens, and Ron Stewart gave me a perfect pass, and I went in and beat Al Rollins at the time, and it was certainly a thrilling moment for me.
Now the pair out on the ice again, and that may mean trouble for the Hawks. There's the face-off. The puck is loose. Ron Stewart skates over the blue line. He's moving into the corner. Pulford is in front of the net. Stewart clears right onto Pulford's stick. He shoots. He scores! Pulford took a perfect pass from Stewart from the far corner, and he made no mistakes. That's Pulford's first NHL goal, and that'll give him lots of confidence.
And then came another big goal that meant even more to Bob and the team.
So last year we won the Stanley Cup. We were playing Detroit in the first game of the finals. The score was tied 1-1.
Leafs and Detroit are tied 1-1 in this first Stanley Cup playoff game, but the Leafs are still a man short, and the Wings are putting on the pressure and threatening to break the tie. Here's the face-off in the Leaf zone with just 10 seconds remaining in regulation time. Howe gets the draw, cuts in behind the Leaf net. He clears the puck out to the blue line. It bounces off Del Vecchio's skate. Pulford recovers the loose puck. He's at center. He's in the clear. Howe is after him. Pulford is at the blue line. He skates it outside set. He shoots. He scores! That makes the score 2-1 for the Leafs with just 2 seconds remaining. So that's the game, as the face-off will be just a formality.
Bob Pulford's contribution to the Maple Leaf Club as a goal-getter, penalty killer, and serious, hard-working team player is monumental. His attitude to life and its responsibilities makes him an outstanding example for young players everywhere.
Hi there, this is Ward Cornell with hockey instruction from Bob Pulford, a hockey star who recognizes the importance of fans like you and who goes all out to help young players.
I can remember an incident with traveling across the prairies. We stopped in a little gas station, and there's a chap in there, and he recognized us as being NHL hockey players and told us how they all congregate in his gas station on a Saturday night and watch the games. And no matter where you go, you can be of some help to children right across Canada.
And here's some good advice on forechecking.
I've always believed that if you can disrupt the other team in their own end, they will make a bad pass. It's very important in forechecking to get your body in front of their puck carrier and make him get rid of the puck to get control of it in their end. Never come in on a player head on, because he could go either to the right or left. You come in on an angle, he can only go one way, and you have a much better chance of getting your body in front of him and shaking him loose from the puck. I play my wingman out on the boards to intercept the pass and to anticipate a pass from the player, and therefore many times they will get an opportunity to have a good shot on net.
Bob talks hockey confidently and clearly. He knows the game and plays it superbly. Listen to Punch Imlach back up this assessment.
Bob Pulford is an honest hockey player, a gutty hockey player. He's the type that goes into the other fellow's end and wrecks their offense before it gets started. He's rugged, he can go into the corners and check, he's strong, and he's big, and he's got a good shot. The harder he works, the better he plays.
And Bob's hard skating, hard playing abilities have made him one of Punch's best penalty killers, a type of play every young player should know a lot about.
I have been used a great deal as a penalty killer. I've enjoyed this aspect of my hockey career because I think that it does give you a certain amount of satisfaction in knowing that you have helped your team through a difficult few minutes in a hockey game. Penalty killing, I think there is a system to doing this. I go in deep, make the player stop behind the net and circle back, and when he starts to move out from behind the net, the player I'm killing the penalties with will go in and make him make a pass. I will follow that pass and wherever it goes to the next player on their team and check him. In the meantime, the first player comes back and covers me up on the next pass. So we try to forecheck them in their own end. When the puck gets into our end, we play basically a box system, a term used in hockey, where the two forwards go out and watch their 2-point men. And basically our two defensemen are in front of the net and we are out at the points, and we try to get in a zone position where we can intercept any passes and stop a direct shot on net.
None of our hockey stars would feel they'd done their duty by you young fellows if they didn't underline skating ability. Bob's a good man to listen to because he had to work hard at it.
As a boy, I was not a good skater, but I did work hard at my skating, and when we had wind sprints up and down the ice, I would always try to skate a little harder than I really would do naturally. For a young boy, if you will just work hard at it and try to go as fast as he can, when he does have wind sprints in a practice, you are bound to improve your skating and become a faster skater.
Bob sums up the 3 things he considers most important to a good hockey player.
I think that young players should certainly concentrate on skating because this is the most important skill in becoming a good hockey player. I think the next most important skill is to be able to shoot the puck accurately and with a fair amount of speed. And this is something that can be developed by practicing, by trying to become accurate by aiming at a specific point in the net and not just shooting at a net which is 6 feet wide. The most important asset is a certain amount of determination or courage, the will to become better, to practice hard. By working hard at a skill, he can better it, and by working hard at school or at a job in later life, he can become a better citizen.
Foster Hewitt has the last word on Bob Pulford, and it's a word of praise and admiration.
Bob Pulford is the swashbuckling type of player any coach would like to have. He's a coach's dream, to my way of thinking. He's a fiery competitor with as much ability as any player in the league. I think he's particularly effective in the playoffs. If Pully is right, he can almost single-handedly lead the team to victory. He's as consistent as any player in the league, and really, he's never had what you call a bad season. He also has the respect of other players in the NHL. You don't find any of them fooling around with Bob Pulford.
On behalf of NHL star Bob Pulford, Punch Imlach, Foster Hewitt, Jack Dennett, and myself, this is Ward Cornell to say we hope you enjoy Maple Leaf Hockey Talks as much as we enjoy bringing them to you.